I've got still up to speed on grading. I'm not behind in this class, which is good. Usually it's the theory classes that bog me down. They take a lot longer to grade, and so I know you guys are thinking, well, this don't have so much more. Anyways, we do not have a whole lot to get done today, thankfully, so I can take it at a more relaxed pace, I suppose. What I'd like to start with today is I'd like to start with a vocal warm-up. Well, actually, no, I lied. Since we're not having a quiz in class today, I'm going to collect a page out of your training book. That's what I'm going to do first. So I'd like to collect rhythmic dictation, page 249. That was the one quiz page you had for today. On that page, you should have rhythms 1, 3, and 4. Those are reassigned. So as usual, if you make sure your name is somewhere on that page, if you can tear it out of your book, I will, between now and Tuesday, try to slice off those cuts and fringes. And just trying to see what they're doing. Set. All right, thank you, sir.
I'd like to put my works cited from the book. It was on the page and I didn't. Oops.
I'll come back.
Sorry. Oh yeah, I was telling you about that. It's embarrassing.
Let me double check. That's what these two people have, so it's not. It might be, yeah. I don't know why they can't at least give you the, at least if it's the first thing, they give you that. I don't know. Sorry about that. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I was adding extra one.
You're doing that? You're adding right now?
I'm sorry. Here we go. We're ready now.
Yeah. Yeah, no adding allowed in this. Yeah.
And almost the thing is, I'm just saying.
All right, the next thing now I would like to do is vocally warm up. So if you could open your sightseeing books to page 121, I'd like to sing through melody 8.8. This is another doozy. Well, in fact, a lot of the melodies in chapter 8 are just really, oof. Some of them are hard. It's a good thing we're not going all the way to chapter 20, whatever in this book. Can you imagine having like 8 semesters of Aural skills or something? Taking that long to get to the end of the book. Okay, on page 121, melody 8.8 is in the key of G major. And, let's see, maybe I could do this. I don't remember did I show you where the 2 chord was in this one last class? There's an outline of a 2 chord. I don't remember if I showed you that.
8.8?
Yeah, 8.8.
No.
Okay. You know, this technology is supposed to be time-saving, right? The computer is supposed to be a time-saving device, but yet it sometimes takes so long. Sometimes they create more work for people when they don't work. 8.8, at the end of the first line, we're in G major. Do you see how that last beat is A, C, and E? At the end of the first line. If you want to mark that in your book and put a 2 there, that's perfectly fine. That means you know that you'll need to sing re, fa, and la, not necessarily in that order, but there's the 2 chord. And for me, that's kind of high in my vocal range, especially to get up to that high la in the key of G. And so it's really not that easy for me to say. I suppose I can leave it up on the screen, but I do need to go to the piano and get a G. Things would be so much easier if we all had perfect pitch. All right, here we go. There's do, I think. Here we go. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Do, mi, sol, do, sol, mi, do. Okay, we're starting on sol, as you can see. And I know some people are going to go way down to the low sol. I can't reach that low, so any sol will do. And you see it's marked presto, but I'm not going to take a presto. I'm not going to take a presto. This is hand signs. You had a chance to look at this, so let's see how we do. Oh, there's a good pitch. Oh, by the way, we're in compound meter as well. So I'll give us almost a full measure. How about a tempo of 1, la, li, 2. Sol, sol, do, mi, sol, 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 mi, re, fa, mi, do, sol, fa, re, la, sol, ti, sol, sol, do, mi, sol, 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 fa, mi, re, fa, mi, do, mi, re, ti, re, do. Yeah, that measure for me, that is tricky. I mean, it's just like leaping all over the place. And it's way up in the stratosphere kind of thing. I think I'd like to do it again. Do, sol. Pick your octave. One more time through, I think, should be good enough for this one. Here we go, deep breaths. 1, la, li, 2. Sol, sol, do, mi, sol, 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 fa, mi, re, fa, mi, do, sol, fa, re, la, do, ti, sol, sol, do, mi, sol, 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 fa, mi, re, fa, mi, do, mi, re, ti, re, do. Okay. You see that this is from Haydn's 100th Symphony. Obviously, this will be played then by instruments. I don't have time to, I don't think I have time to, I don't even have the patience to boot that all up. But if you ever were to YouTube Haydn's 100th Symphony, the presto movement, it kind of goes. It's kind of that tempo. Now, I don't expect anyone to hand sign that fast, but my goodness. And sometimes I wonder why they put these instrumental lines in our vocal sightseeing book. Okay, let's see, we sang through that one and that one last. Oh, can we sing through 8.9? Where's the 2 chord in 8.9? Did you find it? It's kind of like Where's Waldo, but it's... It's in the second line. Yeah, there's the last measure. We're in the key, what are we in here? We're in the key of F here. And so the 2 chord there is La, Re, and Fa. At least that's the arrangement of the notes. A G minor chord is F major. So we're going to go down a step even lower in terms of key.
Fa
slow again, just like the other one. So, do. This one's conducting, however. And it does not have to go fast either. So like before, I'll give us almost a full measure. We do the pickup, starting on sol. I want a tempo of 1, molly, 2. Sol, do, re, mi, mi, fa, fa, mi, re, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do. It's really not that difficult of a melody. Maybe just the appreciation of that G chord. But it seems to flow pretty nicely. The second phrase, the second line, and then I can hear a potential 6/4. You could probably harmonize that, probably not too difficult. There's your la, re, fa. We don't sing that series of notes necessarily all the time, but trying to get the 4 chord and the 2 chord to be more commonplace, certainly more automatic in our minds here. Okay, I don't need to go over any of the other melodies. Normally, I would have Kieran was the last one to draw and to sing. He's not here today, so he's going to have to do his. He's going to have to record his and send it to me on Canvas, I guess he's not feeling too hot today. What I can do, though, before we go to ear training for the day, is I can give you the sight singing test information. Since I don't think we have any new melodies in yet, not this unit. So we don't have any new melodies. So anywhere you want to write this information down, or if you want to just plug it into your phone immediately right away. Oops. I can get my copy here. By the way, the ear training test is 1 week from today, next Thursday. The sight singing test begins 1 week from tomorrow. I'll explain more about that in a little bit. A prepared melody and prepared rhythm, and then the new melody. These are the 6 melodies I've chosen for the prepared portion. 643, 646, 650, 8.1, 8.2, 8.5. And for anyone who's not here today, they have to sing one from chapter 7 in the alto clef. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. That's a joke. There's a method to my madness here. Normally I like to pick 3 odd-numbered melodies and 3 even-numbered melodies, which I believe I have. Odd, 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 even, even, even. So we get half the melodies are conducting, half of them are hand signed. Also, I picked 3 melodies from chapter 6, 3 melodies from chapter 8, since we've had a little bit of each. And if you check these melodies out, or when you check these melodies out, you should find that these 3 melodies from chapter 6 are all in minor keys. These 3 melodies in chapter 8 are all major keys. Okay, so there's a little bit of reasoning that I picked these particular melodies. By the way, I'd have to double check, but if you look, all of these minor melodies in chapter 6, they might all be in the same key. They might all be in F sharp minor. I'd have to double check, but they might have the same time. Don't quote me on that. So those are the 6 prepared melodies. You'll know you'll have one of those for the sight singing test. In terms of rhythms to prepare for the test, these are the ones I've got. I think I'm going to actually, let me double check. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to ask you to perform 2 rhythms on the test. Because we had some that were in simple meters, and those would be the ones from 13.9 through 13.12. And then we also had some in compound meter, and those would be the ones from 13.20 through 13.26. So I think what I'm going to be, what my guess is, I don't have it in my notes, but my guess is I'm going to ask you to perform one rhythm in simple meter and one rhythm in compound meter. And let me just double check. Yeah, so there's 4 to prepare that are in simple meter, and then there's several to prepare that are in compound meter. Remember, the focus of these rhythms in your sight symbols, as they are also in dictation, is syncopation. 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 Okay. You know what? I think we should probably take a moment to try to do one of these. It's been a while since we've done a rhythm in the book. Can you open your sightseeing book to page 205? 205. Oh, and I forgot to remind you also, your rhythmic, did I tell you your rhythmic quiz is due on campus? It's due on Tuesday. So make sure you record yourself performing. I gave you an assigned rhythm. It's all there in Canvas, and make sure you send that to me by midnight on Tuesday. Please don't wait till 11:59 and 47 seconds. Okay, on page 205, can we all read through? It looks like I gave this to someone, although I don't have the name. 1326. I think I said, wow, look at that. Can we just go through it? It's been a while since we've done rhythms in here, plus syncopation, plus compound meter. I think it's a good one. So, what beat do we start on in 1326? Beat 2, yes. Okay, so I'll give us a full measure plus 1 beat, and then we'll come in. How about a tempo of 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 1. 2, 1, 2. 2 lolly, 1, 2 lolly, 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 1, 2. 2 lolly, 1. Oh man, that was too easy at that tempo. I think we need to double time it. Well, maybe not exactly double time, but let's do this just one more time a little bit faster. Okay, same thing, a measure and a half of preparation. How about this tempo? 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 1. 2, 1, 2. 2 lolly, 1. 2 lolly, 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 1, 2. 2 lolly, 1. It takes less than 5 seconds. Well, maybe not. It goes pretty quick though. All right, so you guys, all I can tell you for the new melody is that it's going to be this time for you guys in a major key. So those of you for the prepared melody for whom I choose one of these 3 in major keys, it might not be that much of a shift or transition because you'll be still thinking major. But if I ask you to sing one of these in a minor key, by the time you get to the new melody, you'll have to switch gears and go from minor to major. I know that's not always automatic and it's not always the easiest thing in the world, but I'm just letting you know. Just letting you know. Okay, that's all of what is going to be on the test. In terms of when the test is going to be, I think I had explained this a little bit earlier this semester. Next class, I'll be bringing a sign-up sheet, and half of you I would like to actually do your sightseeing test for me outside of class on Friday next week. Find a 10-minute block of time to do that. The other half of you, I will give you time the following Tuesday during class time to do that. So that'll be Tuesday, February 16th. Then the second unit, when we get to the end of that, we're going to switch. Everyone that did their sightseeing test this time outside of class will be able to get in class, and the in-class people this time will have to sing it outside of class. Does that make sense? So that's what my plan is, to bring a sign-up sheet for you guys next week. We can get that all straightened out. Any questions about sightseeing? What's gonna be on it? When's it gonna be? How do I practice? How do I prepare? Why is the sky blue? Good. We'll go ahead and switch gears to your training today. You guys are lucky you do not have an in-class quiz. I gave an in-class quiz to my Aural Skills 2 students today. They were not happy campers. They gave me a little stern look. Okay, in the ear training book, I need you to turn to page 150. Do you still have page 150?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. And have we done number 4 on the line?
No.
That's, okay, that's the one we're gonna do.
I have not done two.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. 8 measures. And this is base, is this number 4 base? Yeah. Okay. And I think it's in B major.
Yeah.
And what's the meter? Let's see. What time? Okay, we got a little pickup measure. And we got in 1, 2, oh, I ran out of room. Yeah. Oops. And how much, do they give you any initial notes? They give you the pickup measure, okay. So they give you the salt fall in the beginning. Okay. All right. What's the chord? It's the magic chord or the focus from all applications? The 2 chord, right? So there will be, you can be guaranteed that there's going to be a measure that outlines or arpeggiates the 2 chord, which in major keys is, of course, re, fa, la again. I have in my notes that we're going to sing a B major scale, and then we're going to vocally arpeggiate a progression that contains the 2 chord. Specifically, the 2 chord will be in first inversion. So let me get that progression up here. Then we'll 2, 6, 6, 4, 5, 1. And this is all written in B major. All right, scale first, and then we'll try this progression. Did I write something wrong?
No.
Okay, good. Here we go. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. All right, let's just do the triads here. Ready? Do, mi, sol, mi, do. The bass note is fa. Fa, this on some student papers before. Is it helpful to actually think about what are the actual pitch letter names of the 2 chord in this key? If it is helpful, go ahead and do that. Put it on your paper. For this inversion, it's going to be E on the bottom, there's going to be G sharp, and there's going to be C sharp. If that helps you, I'm fine with you putting that near the staff or where you use it on your paper. So I want, well, we've got time. I'll play this tune as many times as we need to since we've got time to practice it. I've got in my notes to tell you that, well, let's see, how do I want to do this? I want you to listen for patterns that repeat in this melody in particular. Okay? They could be rhythmic patterns that repeat, they could be melodic patterns that repeat, they could be melodic sequences. You know what that is? Repetition at a different pitch level. Especially in this melody. This melody is constructed so that it fits really nice and tightly together. And you've got the beginning pickup measure there as well. So let me give you the overall key again. We're in bass clef, and we start on sol. So that pickup key. Okay, cut time. Oh, yes. So it looks like the pickup measure, those are the subdivisions of the beat already. That's what the 8th notes are. So how about a tempo of 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 and 2. For the second time, I'm going to try to slow the tempo down a little bit. That got a little bit away from there. Here's the first pitch, sol. And the tempo, 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 and 2. thing I would like you to try to listen for and pick up on in this melody is actually the rhythm. Because if you can decipher what's happening in the rhythm, then you can clear that out of the way and then you don't have to focus on much anymore. The rhythm of about the first two measures is a pattern that is repeated 3 more times, stated a total of 4 times in this melody. So if you can get the rhythm of, let's say, about the first 2 measures, then it just repeats over and over and over. Starting on sol, I think this is technically hearing number 3, so who's counting? 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E and 2 E and 1 and 2. 1 E I just want to put the, I'm gonna, above the stab, I just want to put the rhythm pattern up there. Make sure everyone's getting that one. Okay, so I believe that's the rhythm pattern. Let's see, one. And one, and two, E, and one, and two. And then it starts over again. And one, and two, E, and one, and two. Get the idea. But I'm sure pitch is on the brain for a lot of us right now, so let me play it again. Starting on sol. I forget which hearing this is, fifth or sixth? Fifth, okay. Here we go. One E and two E and one and two. Is there anyone that's stuck or needs help? Yes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So it'll repeat another time to end that line, and then pick up and do two measures here, and then pick up. Except for the last, no, not doing the last measure, it's just boom, boom, boom. It's 3/4. Yeah, the last measure is only going to have, but it can be an incomplete measure because of the pickup, or you could write it as a full measure rhythmically if you wanted. I would give credit for both. Are you getting stuck on the rhythm or the pitches? Okay. Yeah, so then you're going to have 4 8 ones here. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Yeah, that's right. Da, So I think I have time to play it once more, which is probably what I would do for a melody of this length. I'd probably play it 6 times. This one's kind of challenging. 2. So which measure has the 2-chord outline? Second full measure, right? Fa, la, re. And then, I don't know if you could hear in this measure, it was repeated several times, re, do, ti, ti. Ti has a strong tendency, right? And then it's stepwise around T. T, T, do, Ti, la, Ti. Should be do, mi, sol. There's tonic arpeggiation. And then we do it again. Sol, fa. And guess what? This measure should be just like this measure. So there's melodic repetition there. Now it starts out like this measure, the next bar here does, but it actually goes up to a 4-chord. Fa, la, do. And then we have to lead back down, it goes back down to fa. Oops, I'm not going to just fa, mi, re, la. And then there's a little, it's not all stepwise here, mostly stepwise, but there's a skip in there. So, fa, re, mi, do, do, do. So, again, this melody is not easy by any means. In fact, this is harder than the one that's on the test. But I think it's doable because of the repetition and the patterns. We talked about how the rhythmic repetition, once you get this rhythm down from the pickup to about here, it's just repeated 3 more times. Okay? We talked about how this measure is identical to this measure in terms of pitch. But even so, isn't there some repetition between this much and then starting here and this much? Right? Isn't this a sequence of the beginning? Sol, fa, mi, re, mi, and then here it's at a different pitch level. Re, do, ti, ti, re, do, la, or re, ti, la, ti. So there's a sequence there. There's more repetition. I think this measure was hard because of all the skips. And then if you get the little skip here between fa and re. Do, fa, re, mi, do, do, do. Questions, comments? Was anyone able to get this? Okay. This is pretty challenging. Well, I guess this is my excuse, right? Well, it's Aural Skills 4, right? Okay. It's the last semester. All right. Well, we'll stop there so I can let you guys go. Just bear in mind what you have. You've got sightseeing stuff to prepare for the test. You've got a written quiz to prepare for and send in, and that's probably enough. So we'll stop there today.